y'all, this is story time about how I rented somebody a car and they ended up wrecking it out of state. So this was like a little friend or whatever. Well, we weren't dating, but we was talking. But anyway, kind of like the early stage of dating or whatever. But anyway, so dude, he was doing some hot boy shit or whatever. He was way older than me. I want to say probably like, I was 20 at the time, early 20s. He probably was in the early 30s. He was almost like 10 years older than me. But yeah, so I rented dude a car for him to go out of town or whatever, do his little thing or whatever, handle his little business. I ain't gonna say it on here, but he was handling his little business or whatever. I forgot what state he was in. Georgia? No, he was coming back from Georgia going to Alabama. And it was a weekday. I can't remember what day it was. It was a weekday and I was at work. Child, next thing I know, I think I was leaving work, matter of fact. It was close to 5 o'clock. This was when I was working as a medical assistant. I was leaving work. Child, next thing I know, I get this phone call or whatever. I didn't know who. Normally, I don't answer numbers I don't know. So, I don't think I answered it or they called back twice. I don't think I answered. They left a voicemail and I listened to the voicemail and I ended up calling the number back. That's what it was, yeah. So, I ended up listening to the voicemail or whatever. And when I tell you, as soon as I heard that voicemail, I was like, and I ended up calling the number back. It was the Alabama State Police calling me. So I rented the dude the car, whatever. The only rule I had for the dude was don't let nobody else drive it. Just you drive it. Okay, I guess the whole point of the story what happened. Well, let me tell you, I'm skipping ahead. So let me tell y'all what happened. Anyway, so I ended up calling the number back. It was the Alabama State Police. So I was like, hey, this so-and-so, this, that, the third. It was like, hey, yeah, man, this so-and-so or so-and-so, whatever. I was just calling because your name was registered to this vehicle, this, that, and the third, da-da-da. I was like, yeah? I said, I rented it for somebody, this, that, and the third. They was like, well, yeah, they was involved in a little incident. I was like, what? Thinking something had to happen or something was wrong or whatever. I was like, well, what happened? He was like, what did he say? He was like, yeah, him and the guy that he was with took us on a high-speed chase, and one, they wrecked the car, and we didn't get one of them, but we got the other one. I was like, what? So I was like, OMG. So after I got done talking to the phone to the officer or whatever, I was like, I know good and goddamn well. Now when I went and rented the car, y'all, they had two options. It was a minivan and a Camaro. And the guy had offered me the minivan, but the Camaro was an upgraded thing. So I was like, eh. And I started to go ahead and get it wasn't a minivan, it was an SUV. I started to go ahead and get the SUV and just, give it to them or whatever. I said, I'll get that Camaro. I was like, but me trying to be nice or whatever. I'm like, nah, if it was me, I want that Camaro for somebody to bring me a car. I wouldn't want no SUV. So I was like, go ahead and give me the Camaro or whatever. Wrong thing to do. Anyway, so I ended up renting the Camaro, giving it to the dude. He went out of town with it or whatever, him and his homeboy, to handle his business or whatever. And that's the phone call I get. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days later from that state police officer or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I had to call, I had a whole issue with Enterprise, because that's who I ended up renting it from. I was like, this what happened, this, that, and third or whatever. They had to get police support, this, that, and third. So anyway, I want to say a couple of days go by, maybe even a week or whatever. I contacted, not even a week, it was less than a week. I contacted dude, the one that they got. Apparently his homeboy got away and they caught him. So this is what happened. This is the story he gave me. It was coming back from the club. He was too drunk to drive, so he told old boy to drive. Old boy, young, he was probably around about my age at the time. Young, got a little Camaro and ain't never had nothing, wanted to stomp it and race or whatever. So, and both of them ain't got no license. Dumb on my part. Don't do that, y'all. Don't be all up in whatever and y'all renting cars and stuff in your name and knowing they ain't got no license. Don't do no dumb shit. Learn from my mistakes now. I was young and dumb, but I learned from it. Anyway, so neither one of them ain't had no license, but the car was in my name because I rented it. This, that, third. Anyway, so they came back from the club late night and he was too drunk to drive, so he told old boy to drive him back to their house, to the hotel room or whatever. Old boy wanted to freaking stunt out in front of everybody and end up trying to hit the speeding down one of the back roads, thinking wasn't nobody back there. Police was sitting in the cut. Police ended up coming out and hawking them in or whatever. He, instead of stopping and getting pulled over, he decides to take the police officer on a high-speed chase. End up running. End up crashing the car in the bushes. Dude who was driving jumped out, ran through the bushes. And the dude who I was fucking with at the time, he was knocked out asleep through the whole thing. Next, when he woke up, he had a police officer in his face like, hey, this, that, third. And he looked around and surrounded us. And he had the police officer had to tell him what the heck was going on. And that's how drunk he was. Y'all, when I tell you I was pissed, I was so pissed. Yes, that was the last time I ended up that child. Dude that they caught or whatever, who I was talking to at the time, he ended up going to jail. I think he did like he did like 3 years because they ended up finding some other stuff in the car too as well. They weren't just, he ain't had no license and he was the driver, I mean the passenger side or whatever. But then he ended up doing some time. The dude who was driving that made all the crap happen, he ended up running away. Never got caught. The dude who was at the passenger side, who I was fucking with at the time, ended up taking everything. Like, they put everything on him. The car, the stuff that was in the car, freaking the high-speed chase, all that went on him. Ooh, boy, I said, ooh, you couldn't have been me, boy, because if I ever see that dude ever in person, if I was you, boy, it's on sight. It would have been on site. Nigga, I did 3 years over some dumb crap. You doing that dumb like you ain't never drive no car before? More of the story is, don't ever write nobody no car in your name, regardless if you fucking with them or not. Y'all ain't married? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be young and dumb like I was. Don't be young and dumb like I was. But that boy, that was crazy. Of course, nothing happened to me. I didn't end up paying for the car. Enterprise or whatever. They just got the police support from the people or whatever. And they just put all the charges on dude. So I didn't have to pay anything, but still. Ask me if I do it again. Hell to the fuck no.